Hey everyone, welcome back. So I am making a batch of soap right now. I have my milk. It's going to be a goat milk soap, and it is a triple butter soap. It's from the Simple and Natural Soap Making by Jan Berry. Back for Christmas of 2019, I got several soap making books. And so I started making soap at the beginning of 2020, and this has been the book that I've used the most recipes out of, and I really enjoy it. As you can tell, I have lots of little post-it note tags there. Anyway, if you're interested in soap making, I would recommend getting this book. So I have all my stuff set up here, and so when you make milk soap, you want to use frozen milk, and I use mostly frozen milk cubes that are in there, and then just to make sure that my amount of milk is at the correct amount, I added in just some cold milk from the refrigerator, and you can see it's scorching just a little bit, and that's why you use frozen milk, is that it prevents it from turning orange and burning. So now that I have my lye and milk going, and this isn't going to be like a how to make soap video. This is just me making soap. So the lye mixture, or when the lye hits liquid, it starts to warm up. And by feeling the tub, like, you can feel the container is getting warmer. So while the lye dissolves in the milk and sits there doing its thing, I'm going to get the different oils and butters going. Okay. So this one I'm using olive oil, shea butter, mango butter, cocoa butter, and coconut oil in. I've made this recipe. This is a double batch, and I really liked how the first batch turned out, so I am doing a double batch this time. And I am using Nurture Soap's Frosted Marzipan Fragrance. I want to use more essential oils because they're not a man-made product, they're a natural product. But when I first started making soap, I ordered quite a few different fragrances to use in the soap, and this one smells really good, and I want to use them up. So, Frosted Marzipan. And I'm going to start by measuring out my oils. It's a little bit extra olive oil, but not much, just a couple grams. So now I'm going to do my coconut oil. So there's 680 grams of olive oil, and then this is for the coconut oil is 396 grams. Have to remember to tear the scale out. So now I'm going to do 170 grams or 3 ounces, or no, 6 ounces, 6 ounces. The original recipe was 3 ounces, so I'm doubling it. So I have it written down here in my book where I keep track of everything that I'm making. Now, and I have to remember, tear the scale out. So, now the shea butter. Okay, 169. We're gonna call that good. Oop, 170. Perfect. I really love shea butter. It is so nice for the skin, because I've also been playing around with making lotion too. And I think shea butter is fabulous. Tear. Okay. cocoa butter. And this stuff is pretty hard. I would say that if you are looking to try making soap, you can get cocoa butter like this in a solid chunk. But what I would recommend doing is getting the little wafers or chips of it. It comes, I've seen it like sold as like cocoa butter drops, different stuff like that, because it is really hard. Okay, 169 grams. We're gonna call that good. So now this is all my oils. I hope you can see that. I'm gonna stick this on the stove and heat it up. Now, one thing they say is to keep all of your soap making equipment, any containers, anything you use, separate from anything you use for cooking. So this is only going to be used for the oils. I'm not going to have it in the lye. I have special spatulas just for using with the lye. And so this can be washed and go back to cooking because it's only going to be with the oils. This I just used on my cocoa butter. This spoon, it can just go back, be washed, and it'll be fine. Now I don't want to get the oils and the butters hot. I just want to get it melted because I want to have the lye milk mixture close to the same temperature. So you want to keep an eye on this. To get the lye mixture. I'm going to put my ratty old safety goggles on, but they do the job. And so whenever you're making soap, you are supposed to use gloves and goggles, long sleeves to protect yourself, because it can burn you. And if you're interested in making soap, other than the Jan Berry book, I would recommend on YouTube, there's quite a few good, really good soap makers. And so there is the company Brambleberry, and this is where these forms are from. I have soap molds forms from a couple different places. Some I bought just off of Amazon, but these I ordered from Brambleberry. And then I have a loaf form too, and these are silicone to use. And she has a lot of really good YouTube videos where you get to actually understand more about the science of it. And she's really good at making soap. She's done it for a long time, and she has a business selling supplies. So yes, check her out, Brambleberry, and I will leave a link to her website down in the description box. So, soap is basically, it's a liquid to dissolve lye, and then you have your oils, your fats, your butters, and you can even make soap out of simply water, lye, and olive oil. That's a real basic one. But it's fun to add in. I haven't made soap that uses water or a different type of liquid. I have only done goat milk soaps. So, but from the different recipes that I have read, is that you can use almost any liquid. Like I saw a recipe for using wine. I think I saw another one that used beer, and I was like, I don't know. I think that there are different liquids that would be good. And milk is a traditional, is I don't know if it's traditional, but it's a fairly common liquid to use. it adds some nice qualities. Okay, so it's 5:40, it's pretty dark out. I need to run out really quickly and go close the chickens in before it's completely dark. So I'm gonna just let this sit here. My oils are off. They're completely melted. And I got interested in making soap, because we have goats. So we have goat milk. But because we have the cheese facility and the creamery, we end up washing our hands a huge amount. We go through a lot of soap, and I tend to have sensitive skin, and certain soaps my skin would react to really badly. And so I started looking at, soaps, lotions, any skincare stuff that you're putting on your skin. And you'd be kind of amazed when you start reading ingredients and Googling all the stuff in there at how toxic the stuff is that we are putting on our skin. So I figured there was a better way to go about it. And a lot of lotions, there'll be 20 ingredients and you don't need that. So I do focus more on, like, for example here, milk, lye, olive oil, cocoa, just stuff that is nature made, not man-made. And like I was saying, I do want to focus more on essential oils, not man-made fragrances, but I'm going to use this up. So, and if you do use fragrances like this, you want to look like paraben and phthalate free, and make sure that they don't have a lot of the chemicals that are not good for you. I've got my oils melted. I've got this ready, the lye and milk solution. I've got my immersion blender ready to go, and have my form set up. And one thing is if you haven't made soap before and you want to try making it, I would recommend having a tray, a cookie sheet, something like that to put your forms on, because once you have these, especially if you have a softer, more pliable form, moving these with the soap in them, at least for 24 hours, it's a lot easier if you have that. So, I'm gonna get my safety gear back on. Make sure you have all your oil out of the pan. Now, immersion blender in, give it a little swirl, and already starting to come together. I think I must have had a little piece of the frozen milk left in there, because I can hear something grinding about. Okay. Just take that. I'm going to set that over here. I'm going to put in some fragrance oil. I don't know why I keep smelling it. Let's see. Now we'll give this a little stir. might use this whole little bottle. And there we go. That is stuff. And you want to keep your immersion blender under the soap. You don't want to bring it up because you don't want to splatter soap, but also you don't want to incorporate air into your soap or else you'll end up with air bubbles. So I think this is looking like a nice pouring. So it looks like that. It looks like a light trace. Okay. There we go. Really nicely. Okay, and you can see that it's already starting, like from when I first started pouring, how it's changing, and there's a little lump there. Look at that. I may calculated that out just about perfect. Okay. Oh. Oh. This is getting messy. This is interesting. This form, this one right here that I'm working on, the sides start to bow out a little bit. Which, I mean, these are just for home use, but look how pretty that one is. That one looks nice. They get a look, you can almost tell as I pour them how it changes. So, see. I'm gonna do a little swirly top. Might need to set up a little more. Have little swirls. Oh, that's kind of pretty down there. Let's see. And this is just purely decorative. And I've done this before on some other bars that were the square, and I did the tops. They look pretty. Woo. Not bad. Okay, well, I think that looks pretty good. They did set up, and as I was saying, like, it starts to firm up as you're working with it, so you can see the first pour and as it went. So I'm okay with that. I think that this will make a really nice bar of soap, and what I'm interested in mostly is just having a good quality bar of soap that doesn't irritate my skin and smells nice, which right now I can't smell this because my mom has been working on making croissants, and so she's baking them, and that's what I can smell baking, and it smells really good. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope this wasn't too confusing, and I'll see you next time.